Howdy guys, I was trying to figure out the best way to do this, and I think the best way would be to start off by showing you a bit of my desk. So I'll take the camera off the mount that I have posted over my desk, show you the desk I've been working on putting together. Here's a drawer with a nice decanter full of some yummy bourbon. Little crystal glass here. And at the touch of a button, Smith and Wesson 627. It's my current favorite carry piece. I carry that more often than any other gun. The gun has a great feel to it. Very accurate at almost all distances I use at the range. So, well, first things first, have that nice block of ice here, or ball of ice. Give me a coaster. Now, once again, alcohol, guns do not mix. What's that, about 2 fingers worth? So the 627, I think I've had this in some of our videos. That was loaded. Derp. 8 shots, performance center, short 2 and something inch barrel. Really smooth action. Wow, I like that, huh? I love the look of this thing too, right? Look at this unfluted cylinder. Bit of a snubby here. I pulled this out of the gun show for them to zip tie it before I went in, and the cop, there's a cop actually, man in the zip tie station was, gee, you think you have a big enough gun there, buddy? Yes, sir, I do. I can't say enough good things about this gun. I mean, this gun I bought on a whim, and wow, the performance centers, they really deserve their reputation. Just not saying anything wrong about this gun. I think everybody's played with one of these. This is a Smith and Wesson 686, probably one of the most popular revolvers on the market right now. I mean, granted, I mean, you feel the action on a performance center versus your regular Smith. I didn't think there'd be much of a difference. There is a reason these performance centers cost a couple $100 more than the regular models. I mean, not to take anything away from this. This is a great gun. This is the 686. This is one of the tallow editions. I guess had a bit of an odd length. I think it's 5 inches instead of like the normal 246 or whatever. Or is it a 46 or 8? Has different grips. I believe this is a 7-shot. Interesting. A lot of my Smiths, earlier ones, you know, they're 7-shot revolvers instead of the standard, you know, 6-shooter. We're looking at these 7 shots. I mean, this look is so iconic that I got a couple of other guns. I think I've definitely shown these off. These are the 617s. This is the 8 3/4 inch model. I liked it so much I bought its shorter brother, the 4-inch model. And these, you know, if you're gonna try to save your money, I guess, from practicing with 357 all the time, you go ahead and get a 617. And this one actually has a fat hammer, so cocking this thing, you know, with the weight of the barrel pulling it down and the fat hammer, it's almost as smooth as this performance center. Anything about these, you know, they hold those 10 shots of a 22 long rifle, so you can spend a lot of time at the range without wasting too much money. And I got one of these so I could practice quick draws and things like that out of a holster. I mean, can you imagine pulling this thing out of a holster? Crazy. Actually, you know, speaking of the 686, this came out roughly, I think, at the same time, a little bit before it maybe. This was my second gun ever. This was my first revolver. It's a Smith and Wesson 520, and I actually like it a little bit better than the 686. I mean, look at this thing. It's got a great look to it. Has a sleeved barrel, which this does not, I don't believe. Oh. Has that scandium cylinder, and the gun actually that I just got also has a sleeved barrel, and I think the actual frame of the whole thing is lightweight compared to just this one having a cylinder that's lightweight. I mean, this has got a great look to it, and unfortunately it came out at the same time as 686. I mean, such a great gun that it quickly eclipsed the 520, so this only had a production run of, I think, 1 or 2 years. But my first revolver, incredibly accurate. I've shown a lot of people how to shoot with a revolver using just this gun. I mean, it's such a great gun. I think I mentioned, I guess, you know, I keep this in my safe. It's also a great little tiny pocket carry. This is a DeSantis Nemesis pocket holster. And this is a Smith and Wesson, I believe, 638. I just took it out of the safe, so that's why it's loaded. Let's get rid of those. And I swapped out the springs on this for some Wolf springs, because the original springs, wow, this thing was impossible to shoot. I mean, trying to shoot even at 10 feet, I was having trouble. But after you put in the Wolf springs, it's pretty smooth. This one is the 638, so it has the shrouded hammer. So you stick it in your pocket, your hammer's not going to catch on anything. I mean, look at all these things, they can catch on it, whatever. But this one, you know, you can still have access to pulling the hammer down if you had to. But with those smoothed out Wolf springs, maybe you don't need to do that so much. Now this one did have a laser max fitted onto it. Just because it's so small and so incredibly inaccurate with it, the laser adds a little bit more oomph factor to it, you know. And I guess if you're going to use this to save your life, this would add a little bit more intimidation factor. Because everybody thinks that laser means you're a perfect shot with it. Not true. So what are we looking at? What did I get? Well, it's a performance center, kind of like this. It's shaped shots like this. It's a sleeve barrel, kind of like these guys. And it's got lightweight features like this one does. This is definitely a heavy gun, this 627. And it's getting to be kind of, you know, popular desired. It was featured in Smith and Wesson, American Rifleman magazine. So if you can afford a little bit more than a 686, maybe you might want to pick one up. Now let's show you what we got here. Wet the whistle real fast. Alcohol and firearms do not mix, folks. Unless it's really, really yummy, yummy wild turkey. Alright. Check this out. Alright, great box. So we know it's a performance center. Woohoo! Whoa, isn't that a sexy gun? Look at that thing. That's a Smith and Wesson 327, also called the TRR8, which I believe means Tactical Rail Revolver, and the 8 means 8 shots. And by Tactical Rail, we got us a bunch of supplies in here. Anything else in here? These being rails for the top and the bottom. We got the prerequisite lock. What else we got in here? Join Smith and Wesson, not Smith and Wesson, whatever it is. Join the NRA. Good on you. A couple keys. Come on, $1,000 bill, $1,000 bill, $1,000. Oh, nope, just the paper that was wrapped in poop. Oh well. Let's take a look at this thing, all right? You know, Smith and Wesson did run into trouble a while back because they kowtowed to the Clinton administration during the Clinton gun ban years, and I believe the management of Smith and Wesson has since been replaced, and now they're really they're working to regain their trust with the gun community, you know. And I think they're really doing it, you know. First of all, it's a great product. Everybody, you know, people, as I said, they say, you know, when it comes to revolvers, there's Smith and Wesson, then there's the rest. Wow, actually. This gun, the whole gun, it's bigger, right? It's lighter than the 520. This gun is actually lighter. Wow. I mean, it's that lightweight frame we were talking about. It's a good look to it. I mean, a bit of shine from oil in the gun, I guess. But in general, I think this would have like almost a matte black finish. It kind of looks like when you put a little bit of oil on your AR-15. It's kind of that look right now. So I can imagine in a few range trips that this would have a nice matte finish to it. Good looking gun though. In fact, you can kind of see over here we're getting kind of to that dry black now, like a flat black. Wow, but let's feel the lock. Whoa! Oh my goodness, that's awesome. The lockup on this thing is fantastic. The timing is good. Lord, that's I could just like do this for the entire video. It just feels so good. Holy smoke! That's, you know, that feels tight and a little heavy. This feels like it almost wants to fall into that position and lock there. We got a strange, interesting triangular shaped hammer. I mean, once again, let's compare it to that 617. That's kind of neat. I like that fat hammer on the 617. You know. But I guess that's the performance thing, because the performance center on this 627, that's also kind of triangular shaped. So we got the same thing going on here. But you know what? This locks up a lot smoother. I guess that's all that kibble in here that you're paying for. If you look on the side, it looks like there's some sort of sleeving going on with the whole hammer mechanism so that it rides a lot smoother. Good lord, that actually rides smoother than this 627. The Smith and Wesson 327 has got such an awesome feel. I can't even begin to describe it. Good lord. All right, let's well, we got a bunch of stuff from Optics Planet, and looking at the box, it says 5% off your next order. So I don't know how long this will be good for. You're welcome to use it. FTZBX. I actually bought these supplies when they're having a 10% off special. So every now and then those might run around. Keep your eyes open for that. And it's stuff I'd wanted to get to make the gun look a little bit more, more unique, more me. So let's take a look what we got in here. Whoops, sorry about that. Bourbon. All right, here we go. Man, mini barrage. I love this knife. Have I said that enough times? I love this knife. What do we got in here? All right, we got some air. Got a packing order. Something called Devor. Not sure what that is. I think I've seen them as junk ads everywhere. Here it is, Burris Fastfire III and the Streamlight TLR-1 HL. All right. Well, we're gonna need to put on these rails first of all. Let's see. I think I got a Allen key here. So, what do we got here? We got the top rail. All right, cool. And oh, looks like we actually also have fillers. I guess if you're not going to use the rail, you can fill in the spaces with these little gap fillers. And I got the bottom rail also with screws and fillers. All right, cool. Good lord, one more time, really fast. Oof. Awesome. Can't wait to go to the range with this thing now. All right, let's see. I believe these are American metric. Yeah, there we go. Pays to read ahead. So if I'm doing this correctly, I'll finger tight these all the way. It almost feels like a shame to put these little add-ons to this gun. I mean, the gun looks so amazing as it is already, but let's help it live up to its name, Tactical Rail Revolver. And I guess by tactical we mean that it's painted black. I'm not exactly sure what that word means sometimes, I think it also means that we would like to sell this item to you. But in this case, Smith and Wesson, I am happy to buy it. Wow. Hey, and I'm looking at this gun now. Before I go any further, the front sight, look at that. It's kind of a brass bead like you'd see on a shotgun. It's kind of strange. It's weird. And hey, adjustable rear sights, I noticed. And this top rail has a groove down the middle so that it doesn't interfere with your sight picture. Let's see if we can... there we go. Look at that. Right there. There's your sight picture. And not hampered at all by that rail. Interesting. All right. Make sure that's all finger tight. I'm doing odds and evens. Odds and evens. Alright, that feels good. That does add a little weight to the gun, though. Maybe something you have to think about before you commit to leaving these rails on here. Now, there is a model, as I said, this is the TRR8. There is a model called the R8, which has a fixed bottom rail here. I kind of like the idea of being able to customize the gun more as you want, so I went for the TRR8. They're both similarly priced, so, you pick what you like. Also, I think with the R8, this area here is actually covered up, occluded. So the ejection rod is not so visible on both sides. It's just visible on the left-hand side of the R8. And here's the bottom rail. All right. Hopefully, I believe these are the same size. Let's get all these little bits and pieces together. You know what? By putting that top rail on, the gun sits a little bit easier now. Ooh-wee. Alright, I'll tell you what, if the cat happens to come on your desk, you're going to get little hairs all over the place. And the good thing about that is, though, that your cat also smells like gun oil, and not so much like cat. Alright, here we go. Nice. Look at that. That almost doesn't look like a revolver anymore. You know, as I said, I didn't know what tactical meant, but I think this is it. Woo. Good gravy. Oh, that adds a bit of heft to it. Wow, that's definitely heavy up front now. Alright, saving these little bits and pieces, jots and tittles. Alright, let's take a look at these little add-ons here. We got Burris Fastfire. What's this? Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Alright, there's a little cheap packaging a bit. What's this? Oh man, I love this mini barrage. Have I said that before? Okay. Oops. Alright. So I guess we have instructions here. Lens cleaning cloth, some sort of warranty, please paste postage here, whatever. Let's see this wrapper off of this thing. Mini barrage, man, I love this thing. Alright. Okay, what do we got in the box? Well, here's the actual sight. Neat. Alright, cool. Battery. I'm gonna have to buy extras of those. What is this? The 1632, CR1632. Alright, in case I ever lose that battery and I don't have the instructions anymore, I need to come to this video and remember it's a CR1632. Some sort of housing. This is just a pressure fit. And that's what it feels like. Yeah, whatever. Here's the base attachment. Okay. Looks like we got some screws here. And we got a tool. Actually, put the screws here. And an Allen key. Alright. So, looks like we'll need a screwdriver. I should have one around here somewhere. Here we go. Oh, I get it. Okay. That mini screwdriver that it came with it, it's to adjust your windage and your elevations on the side. You got a really tiny blade adjustment turn here. And it looks like there's a button on the left-hand side. I get that must be your on button and whatnot. Let's pop that guy in. There's the cap. I think on Rifleman they had like an aim point on this thing. It was like a M4 aim point that you'd see on an M4, and it's kind of huge. And I kind of like the idea, but I wasn't ready to spend like $400 or $500 at this point to commit that much yet. Let's see. I guess this fits on like so. And where did I put them screws at? There they are. I guess they have one extra. I only need these two. I use that key. It's a starhead key to lock them in place. Alright, let's see. Then this should just fit on here somehow. Like anything that fits on a Picatinny rail does. What would I want? Do I want this forward or back? Let's just start here for now. Alright, that's looking a little bit better so far. Look at that thing. Unfortunately, you can't see underneath it to still use the iron sights, but I mean this comes off and on easy as pie. Huh? Let's try to fire this thing up. Beep. Is that working? Yeah, there's a. All right, there it is. Oh, okay. The more you click it, the changes the sight. All right, let's see if we can actually see that here. I click it once, it's off, and oh, that is off, right? No, they're not getting the right angle yet. Alright, you can kind of see that red dot there. It's not very bright. Let's go to the next brightest. There you go. Alright, so I'll have to take that to the range and adjust it a little tiny bit, but there you go, that's the idea. Quick sight on. Huh. Well, that's gonna be fun. I can't wait to try that out. And I guess just multiple clicks to turn it off. There's less bright. A very minuscule bright. You might not even be able to see that on there. Kind of see it. That's that 3 MOA dot. And then off. Interesting that the first setting is actually just a medium brightness, and then it goes to really bright, and then it starts progressive down. You know what? Let's just try putting the housing on, see what it looks like. Oh, that's kind of interesting too. Maybe, I don't know, it's plasticky, which is I'm not crazy about, but it's kind of neat looking. Alright, well, we have our option of doing that or not. Let's make sure to save that key. Let's have ourselves a little treat here. Alright, let's try the next part. Streamlight. You know, I was wondering, why do these flashlights cost so much? But, you know, you try them out compared to our flashlights. These things are just crazy bright. Alright. Here we go. Nice packaging on this. Less kibble than the other one. Instruction manual. Okay. Looks like we got a bunch of adapters here and some washers and a screw, probably a spare screw. These look like those CR123 batteries. Dependable power for professional applications. Ooh. Yep, CR123As. There's the flashlight, and we also get a key. So, looks like these keys fit into the flashlight here, depending on what kind of device you have. This is the TLR-1 HL. I'll tell you what, it's a lot wider than I thought it was gonna be. It's fairly light though, that's kind of nice. I think I've seen in the past this tab here on the top is what's used to open them up. Maybe we can actually, do we need to focus anymore? There we go. So pop that back. That pops out back a tiny bit, and you can kind of wiggle out the bottom. Yes, wiggle that bottom. There we go. Pops open. On the side, it indicates which way each battery should face. And reverse the application to get them in. Fit the back in. And then this clamp, I'll tell you what, that's definitely watertight. There we go, that should be loaded. Let's see. Oof. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty bright. Here, let's aim downwards and light it. Good gravy. I think this is the momentary switch. So momentary, then bright, instantly puts on strobe. Sorry if you're epileptic. I'll stop that right now. Alright, and then to install it on the bottom rail, man, I can't wait to see how this thing looks. Let's see, let's loosen this thing up. There we go. I believe this rail here, yeah, so this is, if you look at it closely, the lock knob, spring loaded on this thing. So that means we have to come at it, snap it in place, and lock it down. And there is the new member of the family, the TRR8. God, that's a lot of stuff on there. This feels like, You know, you go to the range and you see somebody who puts way too much stuff on their AR-15. I don't know if I might have done that with this gun, but I can't wait to try it nonetheless. You know, maybe I'll take off the bottom rail if I'm not going to use the light for a bit and save the light for like some home application. But man, that thing, you know, still with all that stuff added, you know, it's front heavy. It's front heavy, I'll give you that. But it definitely looks interesting. This looks pretty futuristic. Now, unfortunately, with the light so far forward, you won't be able to activate it with your trigger finger or even, you know, your stabilizing hand. You're definitely gonna have to come forward and use that. Ugh, more strobe. Man, once again, I do like the lockup on this thing. You get a chance to feel one of these things, play around with the lockup on it. Wow, that's great. All right, anyway, I don't know. What do you think? That looks pretty that looks pretty different. Kind of like that idea. One thing I was going to mention with these 8-shot guns here was, well, aside from the fact that I really do like this company called MTR Custom Leather, if you find them online. This is my daily carry here. There's a way also about carrying extra rounds. I mean, 8 shots is 8 shots, but what if you need more than 8 shots? Well, putting a moon clip in your pocket, it's not very comfortable, especially if you're wearing pants or something. I mean, I'm wearing these 511 shirts, and they have those secret pockets in the front. Stuffing this in the front, still not too comfortable. Not crazy about that. Well, there's that company Speed Bees, and for my 617s, they came in really handy. You might recall on a previous video I'd shown that I bought this kit here, the Speed Bees 617 fast reload system. And you get these trays, and you get this reload device, and it's a little spring actuated device. There's a spring that goes all the way around it that holds the tension on when you snap these on, like so. And then this collar pushes down, has all these little tiny spokes. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. These spokes that will then push the bullets out into the gun. So you have the gun here, load, and then push the collar in, and it releases them into the cylinder. I'm not going to do that now. Loaded guns in the house with all that bourbon. Not smart. However, 22s are great. Self-defense. Some people say yes. Me, maybe not so much. I like the 357 as a self-defense choice. So, what was the option? You know, I mean, well, we do have the moon clips. You could carry loose ammo, which, you know, I'm not sure if I'm crazy, but you carry this rattling around in your pocket. I don't think I feel too great about that idea. So Speed Bees, I found out, made this other product here, and it is phenomenal. It is a moon clip holster. I guess mostly for speed competitions, but I use this for personal carry, and it's neat because it's magnetic. So just to give you an idea how strong they are, look at that. Magnet's strong enough they can pull off of it if you need the piece, but you're not going to necessarily lose it. Now, it does stick out a tiny bit in your clothing, but you know, you wear a loose shirt over this and no one's the wiser. Now, because they are moon clips, there's a bit of a rattle. Not too much. Besides, you know, they're going to rattle no matter what. Even if they're by themselves, there's a rattle. So, I mean, you use this thing, you just pop one out, throw it into the your set, you're good to go. And the neat thing about that, you know, this gun, the cylinder has been shaved, indented inside a bit, so it will accept these moon clips, or it will accept non-moon clip rounds. And there you go. Ooh, the temptation to pull the trigger on this because of that smooth action. Too much. Got to get rid of that. Anyway, this Speed Bees ammo holder, it's really neat because let's see, you pull down this clip here on the bottom and squeeze these 2 tabs, and then these different bars can be adjusted. You can pop them out and adjust them all along this rail depending on the thickness of your belt or where you want it to ride, higher or lower. And once again, also you can undo all these hex heads here, and you can move the system higher or lower riding on your waist, depending on what's more comfortable for you and what makes you a more accurate shot. But that's my combination, and let me get rid of this first. The only thing that's a little tough is, as a left-handed shooter, I can't put this in my right hand on my right side of my belt. So on the belt, assuming we have the belt right here and and the buckle sitting right on the front, or actually, you know what? Give me a second here. There we go. There's the belt. For all you that don't know what Virginia flag looks like, there she is, Sic Semper Tyrannis, which we'll see how much more of a bearing that has after this next coming election. Not too happy about the state of my state. Anyway, as a lefty, if you're a lefty, you're going to have your gun here, and it'd be nice if this was wrapping around on the right-hand side and you could use this, but it doesn't work that way for us lefties. So I have this sitting right in front of the holster. That way, I have the gun out, shoot as I need it, and then when I come to reload, well, let's say, all right, I pull the gun out, boom, 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 oh, need to reload. As a lefty, I've gotten used to doing this, you know, so let me focus a bit. I release with my index finger, push out with my right hand, and now this hand can go down, grab the ammo, load, and back on target. Boom, 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 boom. Out, eject, grab, insert the next round, boom, 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 boom. Anyway, if you're lefty like me, that's probably the best setup. I've tried having this behind this gun, doesn't work that well. Sitting in front seems to be the best bet. Well, you know, you do what you do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is mainly about this thing. Look at this thing. How am I going to fit this into a holster with all these bits and kibble on here? Good lord. I might have to just, you know, carry this in a plastic bag around my neck or something. Good looking gun. Let's see if we get some close-ups here. There's the Burris Fastfire. There's the little kibble inside here, just to smooth out the action on that hammer. I do like this thing. It's still got a great feel to it, even if I've added all these bits and pieces on here. And I will be taking to this range soon, and I'll try and let you all know how it feels out of the range. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Ciao.